Well, confusion is the word of the day here in the United States following that travel ban. And that's because the announcement by Donald Trump was actually not exactly right and specific. He, of course, announced a travel ban on all travel from Europe. Those were the words from the U.S. president. But soon after that, the Department of Homeland Security had to put out a statement to explain exactly who was targeted with that travel ban, and it became clear that Americans would not be hit with that ban, Americans and all the legal residents. Then there was the question of what Europe meant, and it is now clear that it is the Schengen area, the free travel zone in Europe, that is being targeted, which means that the UK, for example, is not involved in that ban. But that has created a lot of panic and confusion for people, whether it is Europeans who were in the US who want to get home to Europe, or Americans in Europe wanting to get home to the United States, with the people scrambling and paying a lot of money to try to get those final flights out before the ban takes effect, and politicians here also saying that it is creating more confusion, and it is not necessarily very useful at this point, because you have more than 1,200 cases already in the United States. The virus is spreading, and the outbreak from Europe is not necessarily the biggest problem for the US right now. It's more of a domestic spread, and they're saying that this travel ban could have been more useful earlier on, but that right now it's really creating more panic than it is being useful.
Tell us about the domestic spread then. Just how bad is the situation in the US right now?
Well, it is spreading very fast. The numbers are going up very fast. As I said, it's more than 1,200 cases right now confirmed. But of course, this number is moving hour by hour. You have at least 38 deaths already. More than half of U.S. states have now declared the state of emergency. And you're seeing everywhere things being canceled, postponed, suspended. The latest one was, of course, the suspension of the NBA basketball, the season of the NBA suspended just last night. And this came very last minute, because they've been trying to put off that decision for a few weeks now. And it came because one player, a Frenchman, Rudy Gobert, was tested positive to the coronavirus just about half an hour before a tip-off for his team, the Utah Jazz. He was not in the arena, but the news of his testing came as the two teams were already on the floor, ready to play, and that's when they decided to cancel that game, and the decision to suspend the whole NBA season until further notice coming in later. There are events being canceled left and right across the United States. You're seeing, for example, St. Patrick's Day parades in Chicago and New York being canceled, and really everyone taking this very seriously. There are different states ordering people not to gather in big, large group gatherings. In Washington State, where Seattle is located, that's down to 250 people max. Here in Washington, D.C., the mayor announcing a state of emergency yesterday, and ordering possibly some school closures coming up. All of this happening as people are also asked to limit their flights and their movement within the United States, starting with the U.S. president, who has finally agreed to stop his travel. The White House press office yesterday issuing a statement saying that his planned travel to Colorado and Nevada for some campaign events had been canceled, and that the president would be staying here in Washington. But of course, this situation is ever moving, and cancellations are going to continue as people are ordered to stay as much as possible at home and avoid big gatherings.